Welcome back, everyone. I thought the best way to start the CCG episodes videos over was to give you guys a grand tour again of our store. So here goes. Okay, I'm going to start here with the Xbox accessories. Pretty much got all the different kinds of Xbox controllers, AV cables, power supplies, memory cards, and the like. Here are all our original Xbox games. Got a decent amount of those. As you can see, some pretty decent titles, some Mortal Kombat's in there. Here are the Xbox 360 games. Again, a really good amount. Got a few up here with our handful of Xbox One games. Got above, we got one of the Arkham Collector's Editions for the 360. And up here is a dance pad with 3 different dance games for the original Xbox. Here are all our Nintendo accessories we've got, going all the way from NES to Wii U to all the handhelds, up to 3DS, actually the new 3DS, because I know we've got a AC adapter in there for that. Here are all of our GameCube games. Don't got a lot of those, but they are very popular, so anytime I can get some in, we try to get them in. Just a handful of Wii U games. Here are the Wii games. Really thought there'd be more, but we got most of the good titles in here. I mean, even we've got Smash Brothers Brawl that just came in as well. Here are DS and 3DS games that are, I don't know, in the $5 to $8 range, that are all boxed, as well as some Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance games. Up above, we've got some of our aftermarket systems, as well as some of the collector sets that we have for Nintendo branded systems. Here are the rest of those from Nintendo, Super Nintendo. There are some of our aftermarket cases that we sell. Here are our NES games. Again, we've got quite a few. Again, a lot of good titles in here. Here is our Super Nintendo area. Wish it was much bigger than it is. We don't have a lot of good stuff because a lot of that stuff just goes right out the door. Here is our NES, or I'm sorry, N64 games. Quite a few of those, probably the most we've ever had, including the flea market. And Famicom and Super Famicom stuff as well. That little bucket down there has $1 sports games for the Super Nintendo and our Super Famicom games. All right, here's something that is new. We have an older gentleman that we are selling his CDs. They're like $1, $2, and $4 a piece. They're all individually marked for that. We had been thinking about getting some CDs, and this just makes it easy because basically if we sell any, we split the profit with him. Won't be a lot, but it's just nice to have. We've had a few people ask us for CDs, so now we've got a few. Again, an area that we didn't have until recently. We just took in quite a few handhelds. Now we have a really, really nice selection of handhelds from Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Light, Game Boy Pockets. Yes, we've even got a couple of Game & Watches up top with a couple of the limited runs Vita games that I bought, a couple extras just to have here. So yeah, it's really nice to be able to finally have a decent selection of handhelds. Here is our accessories for the Sega and Atari consoles. From Sega Master System all the way up to Sega Dreamcast, we've got you covered, as well as a really nice selection of, yes, Atari paddles and controllers. I've even got some of the early, I think they're CX40 Atari 2600 controllers in there as well. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. Down there some Sega Saturn arcade sticks that I bought a while back. We've got some Commodore VIC-20, Commodore 64, TI-99 4A cartridges. Right here is our Commodore Amiga games. Got just a few 3DO games. Got the Odyssey 2 covered as well. Got some decent selection of Intellivision games, even a few boxed. Got some Atari 7800, Atari 5200, Atari 8-bit, Tandy color computer, even a Astrocade, a couple cartridges. We've got some ColecoVision games. Unfortunately, don't have a really big selection of Dreamcast games right now. Would like to get some more in. Heck, we've even got a few Master System games. There is our Sega Saturn selection with Sega CD games as well. Here is the Sega Genesis games that we have. Again, pretty decent selection. I've even got some reproduction carts up here. None of this stuff ever came out in America though. I try to keep it to imports or homebrew stuff. And now here is my Atari 2600 selection. Probably one of the better selections in the area. I've got a ton of them. Even got some individually priced ones. You can see Porky's in there. That's a pretty good one. The Star Wars game. So yeah, got a pretty good selection of these as well. Almost missed the bottom row down here. We've got an Atari 5200. It's the console only. Same thing with the 7800. But I did test them with all my stuff, so I know that they work. Got a boxed Atari 800 XL system. And these three bins right here are our 99-cent Atari 2600 games. Our other big bundle are $1.99, but these are the more common stuff that I have tons of, so we just marked them down to 99 cents, and they sell pretty well. Here is our PS1 to PS4 accessories. Pretty much every controller under the sun, from new, used, even aftermarket stuff. AC adapters, AV cables, component cables. Even got a PS3 drum set down here. Here are all the games we've got starting. This is PS4 to PS2. Just yesterday, meaning Sunday, we put out 10 more PS4 games, which is really nice. So we've got this whole top row of nothing but PS4 games. Got a fairly decent selection of PS3 games here. We have a monster selection of PS2 games, as you can well imagine. There's always tons of those that we have. Some decent stuff in here from Gauntlet Legacy or Dark Legacy to a few of the Burnout games, the Grand Theft Auto games. I mean, of course, we got Ratchet and Clank and Jack and Daxter games. Down below, we've got just a few things. Most of these down here are systems that I've not been able to fix. Most of them have like system board issues, so I sell them for parts. They sell fairly decent. And now guys, here is our comic area. Might get a little bright here. This is the better stuff in here. Things I found, things that have come out of my collection. The lone big one right there, that's the Doctor Strange. That is the comic guys. We still have a few things of his here. And then we have our 99-cent bins here, here, and there. And there's a few individually priced ones in here. They range from like $1.99 to like $9.99. Okay, now I'm going to highlight some of the anime stuff. Keith, the anime guy that we deal with, has been really good to us with how we're able to sell stuff. These DVDs are ours though. But all the posters, basically, it's about 50%. He just lets us put his stuff in here. And at the end of the month, he comes in and finds out what we sold, and we give him about 50% of that. Again, it works out really, really well for us. Besides the posters, we've got some like Dragon Ball Z action figures. A few of the plushies, mostly Pokemon and Mario plushies down below. As well as, let me walk over here. We have got, right, we've got Sailor Moon, a purse, we got an ocarina, and got a decent selection of Dragon Balls as well. I don't know if you can see it right there is a Death Note with a pin. He also brought us some anime mouse pads. We've got some of our own mouse pads up here as well. And probably one of the bigger areas of his is over here. This is mostly like lanyards, figures, bracelets, necklaces. Even got some wallets in here as well. And on these two really big tables in the middle, we've got most of our systems. We've pretty much got everything covered from GameCube, N64, Wii, Dreamcast, Saturn. Got a couple Super Nintendos. And of course, you know, we've got to have an Atari 7800. Then of course we've got PS1s and PS2s up here. Then we've got a few more things over here. Here is that Mattel Aquarius computer. A couple of people, the same guy has picked this up like 3 times when he's been in here. I figured at some point he is going to get that. Got some joysticks over here. Got a few plug and plays right here. Okay, in this case is where I keep my Infinity characters and plates, as well as all the Skylander stuff. I had probably a good 15 Infinity characters, but somebody came in and pretty much wiped me out. One guy wiped me out of all of those. I guess they're starting to become collectible now. Got quite a few Skylanders still though. Nice thing is we go from like Skylander Spyro's Adventure up to maybe Trap Team. As you can see right there, there's a few traps. And down below is a few accessories that I've got besides the VTech stuff too. Not real popular, so I kind of just stuck them down here in the bottom. And here are our PC accessories. We've got a gaming keyboard as well as a numeric keypad. Then of course we've got a whole bunch of USB joysticks and accessories, like that black one right here. Allows you to plug a PS2 controller into a PC or Mac, which is kind of nice. PS3, Xbox 360, some mice, some HDMI cables. Here are all of our PC games that we've got. Got a few. And basically I've got them in order. You can see right there it says 95, 98. Everything below that is all Windows 95, 98 stuff. This area right here is our Vista and XP stuff. I even have a few Windows 7 games, which is kind of nice. And at the very top is the DOS stuff. And of course right next to that is our DVD and Blu-ray selection. At the very top here are Blu-rays, top couple rows with TV box sets, and then all the DVDs we've got. Probably got about 600 DVDs right now, which is really nice. And at the very bottom are all my strategy guides. I've got a couple really good ones in here. You can see right there is Jade Cocoon. That's a really good one. They sell fairly well, much better than they did at the flea market. I've probably sold maybe 6 to 8 since we've been here, and since February 1st. Thought I'd also highlight, I've got some TVs, just not a really big selection. I've got like a little 15-inch. This is a TV and monitor. Allows you to hook into digital TV. Got an old school tube TV, works really well. Heck, I've even got a Core 2 Duo computer right here. Got some USB speakers right here. And I'm sure you guys have seen this little sucker before. No, I still haven't sold it. Had a lot of looks. One guy is very tempted to come in here in a couple weeks and pick this up. Told him I'd give him a really good deal. He could have all the video discs with the player for $100. So hopefully he will come back. Here is all our PS1 games. They're on this rotating shelf. Had them on here for quite a while. We've also got our PSP boxed games with the UMD movies down below. Heck, I've even got a few Japanese imports as well, mostly Gundam Japanese PS1 games. And now for the good stuff. This middle shelf here is my Game Boy Advance reproduction carts. There's also some Japanese Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. That is a PC Engine game. Got some PAL and Japanese PS2 and original Xbox games. Down below is all our really good stuff. See if I can zoom in here for you guys. From Mega Man to Spyro, those middle greatest hits PS1 games are all factory sealed. A couple really good Castlevania for the PS1 and a PS2 game. Got some more PS1. Even have a couple TurboGrafx games and a couple really good original Xbox games. And here's one of the front cases that has our really good stuff. We've got a few really good N64 games. Really was really happy to get these in. They're not really boxed. Yes, that is the box, but somebody committed sacrilege and cut the box out and put it in these cases. But it is Dragon Warrior 2, 3, and 4. Got a few more decent Nintendo and Super Nintendo games down below. We've got our GameCube games, some pretty decent ones. We got Smash, we put that out yesterday. Right there, that's a loose GameCube game, but these are mostly right there are like soundtracks that came out of games, and I think that's the making of Lunar Eternal Blue. Down below we've got some boxed NES and N64 games, as well as a couple Wavebird controllers. And in the case over here, on the very bottom, I got some really nice Sega Saturn games, some decent Genesis stuff. Yep, still got that Atlantis 2 cart. I did bump the price down just a tiny bit though. We got Super Mario Brothers for the Atari 2600. That is our Game Gear selection. Here is our original Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. Again, a couple really good ones in there. Got some loose PSP games. Here is our DS and 3DS games individually priced. And this big group right here are all $3.99 a piece. And here is our Game Boy Advance games. Again, some really nice ones in here. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video of me walking around and doing a little tour of our game store. There may not be a pickups video on Thursday because I did not go out and game hunt on Sunday, but I do plan on going out on Wednesday to the Wednesday flea market. So if I do find some stuff, maybe I'll be able to throw something together for you guys. Yes, this is going to be the first video. The one I'm filming now and you're watching is the first part of me beginning the CCG episodes over again. So this week, meaning Tuesday, I am going to start filming up till Sunday, try to get some footage together and start creating CCG episodes for you again. Again, guys, thanks for watching.